What's up? Today we're going to be talking about your first 90 days as an insurance agent. And yes, you should follow every single step in this video to the T. Coming from somebody who's been a life insurance agent since I was 18 years old, going on 12 years now, building an agency, dealing with insurance carriers, having my own independent agency that's separate from IMOs, knowing the rules, the politics associated to this industry. Please hear me clearly when I tell you that if you follow these first 90 days, you will save yourself of all the pain, the challenges, and everything that I went through with building an agency to be able to get to your success much faster than I had to do so. And don't allow anybody to tell you otherwise because I am completely independent from IMOs and there is no bias associated to what I'm going to tell you if you're looking to build a very successful life insurance agency. Let's jump right in. Let's go to day 0 to 30. If you're a brand new agent, please understand me. Interview insurance agencies. Do not just sign up with an agency because you were introduced by some guy who said that you should sign up with this company. In fact, there are a lot of insurance agencies today that are outdated that I would never sign up with, ever. I wouldn't tell my kids to sign up with them. And you shouldn't either. They're outdated, meaning that in 2025, they don't fit the standard on what consumers are looking for, but they will try to sell you, to heaven, all the way up that they're the best in the game, and they're not. Interview insurance agencies, and here are the three things that you should be looking for. Number one, does this insurance agency give you the ability to own your book of business? What do I mean by that? What that means is when you write a policy, are you earning residuals? And it needs to be very clear in the contract that you own residuals on everything that you write. They might even go and say, yeah, but you don't own residuals just yet. If they try to sell you not just yet, it's a no-go. There's no such thing as not just yet. I've been sold on the fact of not getting residuals. I will never do that again. You should get residuals from day one. It does not matter what your contract is and how much you earn on the front end in your first year. So what a lot of times what you'll hear is, you'll hear agencies and uplines and IMOs try to sell you on first year commissions. First year commissions don't matter. What matters is how much money are you earning every year from the client that you sign up today. You want your residuals, you need to own your residuals, and if you don't own your residuals, somebody else owns your residuals. That's a no-go. Okay, so own your book of business from day one. Residuals. And that brings me to the second point, phone sales. Does the IMO or agency that you're associated with, can they train you on how to sell over the phone? If they try to tell you that selling over the phone doesn't work, they are either lying to you or they are not good at what they do. If you look at every single way that you buy insurance today from Geico, Progressive, and Allstate, you call them on the phone and they sell you policies over the phone. I've built an insurance agency selling over the phone and we did it extremely well. I now train a ton of life insurance agents who are at the highest level doing 30, 50, $60,000 per month in annualized premium and they sell over the phone. So if the agency that you're associated with or plan to sign up with does not sell over the phone or they don't know how to sell over the phone or your upline cannot train you on how to sell over the phone, do not accept the deal because they are living in the past and they'll try to justify their failure by telling you that it doesn't work. No, they're just not good. Lastly, product sales. You need to get with a I am more agency that sells all types of products. Term, whole, IUL, annuities, final expense. If they just sell term, do not do it because that just doesn't make sense in today's time, right? And I'm not signaling out any particular IMO, but the reality is in today's time, just selling term just doesn't make sense. Just selling final expense doesn't make sense. Just selling IULs doesn't make sense. You need to have a holistic approach. The reality is that when you came into this market as a life insurance agent, you wanted to help everyone get life insurance coverage. If you're just selling one particular type of product, that means you don't care about your client. You only care about yourself as an agent. Because if I cared about the client, then it's about what they need. But if they need a final expense policy or they need a term policy or they need an IUL policy based off of our findings by actually doing a needs analysis, then that would mean that we need access to all the products. If we just have one, that means that we're only looking to do what's best for ourselves and the IMO that we're associated with. So if they don't give you contracts for every life insurance product, it's a no-go. Don't sign up with them. These three things are non-negotiables from day 0 to 30. Do not sign up with anyone if they don't meet these three qualifications. You're going to regret it in the future. And I meet so many agents, a year from now, 2 years, 3 years out from now, and they say, Don, I signed up with this agency, now I can't get out. And here's the problem. If you make this mistake and you get this contract with that insurance IMO or agency, when you get that contract, here's what happens. Then you won't be able to get out because now that contract is tied to that agency, and then they'll try to tell you that they own your licenses and that they own your code, and it's a bunch of nasty stuff that happens here with politics in the insurance space. So be sure that you make the decision the right way. Okay, and before you go into any IMO or agency and you start getting a whole bunch of insurance contracts, be very careful of that, because once you get an insurance contract with that IMO that you're signed up with, once you get 10 contracts with them, it's going to be very hard if you wanted to switch to another company, because now they own your contracts and you're not going to be able to move those contracts. But they didn't tell you that though, right? They didn't tell you that, because you're going to try to move your contract, and then the insurance company is going to say, hey, you got to go back to your upline. You're going to go back to your upline and tell them to release your contract, and they're going to play games and try to tell you that they can't release your contract. So be very careful of that in the day 0 to 30, and be mindful of who you're associating yourself with as your upline, because a lot of uplines, they're getting overrides on your commissions, and I don't believe that there's anything wrong with getting overrides on commissions, but I don't believe that an upline is owed overrides and they didn't do anything for you other than give you a contract, which is why you need to be mindful of that. If your upline is getting overrides, they should be helping you to grow your business, and if they're not doing that, then there's no reason why they should be getting overrides from you, because that's what the overrides were for, support. But that doesn't happen in this industry in 2025. That's your day 0 to 30. And again, before I move on, do not allow anyone to try to argue with you that it's another way than what I'm telling you here on this slide. They will try to argue with you. They will try to tell you that what I'm saying is wrong. They're going to try to tell you that what I'm saying is not the right way, or that you could potentially don't listen. Promise you what I'm telling you. I was never associated with any sort of the big IMOs. I am telling you as an independent broker, listen to everything that I'm telling you here, and don't allow anyone to try to argue otherwise, because they're going to only do it because it's what's beneficial to them and because they're stuck in the matrix. You don't want to be a part of that matrix when it comes to building your insurance and business. And now, after you found the right agency that works, because there are great agencies out there. Now, from day 30 to 60, this is where I believe that you should work your network. Do not buy leads. One of the things that I did early on was, like, after like building my agency, I was selling leads for a little while, and I'll be honest with you, as of today, I don't sell leads to new agents. In fact, an agent needs to be doing a certain amount of money and have invested a certain amount of in their business before I even decide to work with them. Why? Because around the time that I've worked with agents who've never bought leads before, who've been brand new, it doesn't work, right? And the reason why it doesn't work, and why if you buy leads, it's most likely not going to work out for you, is because you need reps. You need reps, right? You don't have enough reps under your belt, and you're about to get on the line with strangers. It's not going to work out the right way. You need confidence, and confidence comes from repetition. It's like you're not going to learn the confidence if you don't get the reps, which is why you should be working your network in order to get those reps. I'd rather my family and friends tell me no, and I'd rather be going back and forth with them so I can get the reps and the confidence necessary, than to put my money on the line with strangers and I'm not going to be able to get that money back. You need application practice. If you've never run a life insurance application before, you don't understand all the things that you're about to have to go through, especially if you're dealing with iGo eApp, or one of those application processes that are much slower by nature and could be a bit more complex. And by the way, I have a lot of experience on iGo eApp. So just trust me when I tell you that You need application practice, or you're going to end up being on the line with somebody for 3 hours, and you're going to lose deals just because you're not proficient when it comes to knowing how to navigate through applications. Or you're going to make a mistake on the application, and the insurance carrier is going to reject that application, and you're going to have to call the client back and tell them that you made a mistake, and then they're not going to want to do business with you, and you're going to look like a fool. So get all of the kinks out the way now by working your network in day 30 to 60. Again, if your IMO or agency tries to pressure you to buy leads, do not listen, because they most likely earn money from selling you those leads. So it's in their best interest. So if you buy those leads and you're not successful, it won't matter because they made money from the leads. So they don't care if you write business or not. Don't do it. Work your network. Stay disciplined to what I'm telling you. Get your repetition, get your confidence, go through your application practice. And lastly, you need commission. Do not invest any of your own money into buying leads when you can write somebody from your own network to earn the commission, and then you take that commission to reinvest it back into your business. But why pull money out of your pocket when one of your family members can buy a policy because they need it, and then that could be the money to fund your insurance business? Don't do this the other way around. Do not pull out your credit card, and don't give that credit card to your upline or your IMO trying to sell you leads. No. Work your network. And here's what's going to happen if you do it, if you do the exact opposite of what I tell you. What's going to happen is you're going to lose money. And when you lose money, you're going to quit, because that's what happens. I've been around long enough to know that 90% of life insurance agents are not going to make it past uh, the first year. So the reason why is because they weren't onboarded the right way. And that just stems back to the fact of a bad upline or bad organization, right? That are telling you to do things that shouldn't be the right way when it comes to building your business. So if you lose money, you're going to quit. I'm trying to prevent you from losing money by working your network, getting the policies from your network, and then when you earn that commission, you use that commission to reinvest back into your business, which means that you didn't lose money because you got the money from commission, not from your own pocket. Okay? So that's day 30 to 60. Stay disciplined. And if it takes you 60 days when working your network, don't move until you write your first policy with somebody in your network. Don't move. I would even say two policies. Don't move until you write two policies. Stay disciplined. And that brings me to my last part of day 60 to 90. Once you've written 2 to 3 policies using your warm market, your network, and you now have the commission in your bank account. The insurance company paid the commission to you. It's in your bank account. Excellent. Great job. Now, of course, you're going to need to find a solid lead relationship. Let's start there. Now, why do you need to find a solid lead relationship? Because it just makes sense. Every business in the world needs leads. It seems to me that in the insurance industry that there are an overwhelming amount of agents who've been told that they don't need leads. I don't know where that philosophy came from. I don't know how it even got into this industry, but if you look at every business in the world, they all have leads in some way, shape, or form of people who are interested in buying the thing that they're selling. Geico collects leads. When people want car insurance, they go to Geico, they fill out their information, and that's lead information. And that lead gets called by a Geico agent who sells them on car insurance. Allstate, Progressive, State Farm, you can name every insurance company you could think of that you know, they are the biggest lead generators in the world. So it's mind-boggling to me that with life insurance agents, they're told not to work leads when you currently have a Geico policy. It's baffling. Okay, find a solid lead relationship, and when you do, stick with that lead relationship for 90 days. Why am I telling you 90 days? Because you're going to attempt to jump around and work with this lead vendor and that lead vendor and that lead vendor and that lead vendor. And the reality is all of them are different. All of them may have different audiences that they reach. All of them have different ways on how you need to sell those people, different ways on how to talk to those people on the phone, how to service those people. The thing is, multitasking is a myth. And if you try to switch between all of these things, you're going to fail because you're focusing on four different things. Find one solid, stay with it for 90 days, right? And focus and learn like that relationship. Learn the type of leads that are being generated so you can learn how to sell that type of lead source. And then if going into 90 days they're trash and you haven't earned anything and you're like, I don't know what's going on, like then think about moving from there. Okay, so that's so use the commissions that you've earned to invest into a lead relationship and try to stick with it for 90 days to see if it's actually worth its weight in gold. And then the next thing that you want to do is you want to buy licenses. So use the rest of your money from commission and to buy licenses as aggressively as humanly possible. One of the things that I did when I started my own independent life insurance agency, I got licensed across the country. I dropped like $7,000 and got licensed in all 50 states because it's one of the best investments that you can make. Your license is an asset. It allows you to sell life insurance across the country, and I'm able to sell life insurance from the comfort of my home across all 50 states because I'm legally licensed there, and I can use a headset, which is why phone sales is important. Back to that point that I told you in day 30 to I'm in day 0 to 30, right? So buy as many licenses as you can and get it out the way fast. You don't have to take the exam in every state. You only take the exam once and you get your resident license. And once you get your resident license, you can just apply for non-resident licenses in all the rest of the states. Many of them get approved like same day or next day, except for certain states like Georgia, Florida, and California, where they make you take an additional step like an affidavit or additional fingerprints. But once you get it done once, you only got to do this once every 2 years, okay? Buy your licenses. So use your warm market, earn the commission, and then use that commission to reinvest into finding a lead relationship, and then ultimately getting your licenses. And I'll leave you here with a bonus. The last thing that you want to do, if you're a new agent watching this, is that once you get to a certain place where you're proficient in sales, you've earned commission, you're moving now, like you're making at least like I would say somewhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per month in commission. This is where you want to walk away from lead relationships. Like get away from that right away. And you want to have your own life, you want to have your own lead engine in-house. Like build your own in-house lead engine where you don't got to buy from vendors. And this is the stage that I help high level life insurance agents do. I help them build their own lead engines into their agencies where they don't got to work with lead vendors that are a part of these IMOs and uplines, etc. They have their own independent lead agent that prints leads on demand every day directly from Facebook and Instagram. Directly from Facebook and Instagram. People are scrolling on Facebook and Instagram, and then an ad pops up on their timeline. They see the video, they fill out their information, lead information goes directly to the agent, all in-house. So this is building a purely in-house independent agency, and that's what you want. And that's how I've been able to become successful in the insurance space because I built everything in-house. All of my processes are in-house. My lead engine is in-house. My sales scripts are in-house. My recruitment engine is in-house. Everything, everything. And it's why I have the ability to mind my business. And that's ultimately the place where you want to be too. So lastly, before I end this video, follow everything that I explained to you here in this video. Say everything. I didn't hear you. Say it one more time. Say everything. Yes, and if you don't, you're going to lose money or you're going to quit. I promise. And I don't want that for you. I want to see you successful in this life. And remember, don't listen to what the people tell you. They'll try to tell you the things that I said in this video aren't true. Yeah, I bet they will because they're part of the matrix. You want to be outside of that matrix. You want to build an independent insurance agency that you'll be able to have for the next 40 years and ultimately pass this down to your children or sell it to somebody else and get a huge payday. And that's what you want, and I want that for you. And I want you to be on the right foot in 2025. With that said, I pray this video was valuable. Share this with as many agents as you know, and the ones that you plan to recruit. Share this with them too, and make sure that everybody is independently free, and we're building great agencies. Peace and prosperity.